Good morning. Welcome to yoga this morning. So, in continuation with our exploration of fruit of the Spirit, we're going to continue today with joy. Last week we began with love, which we said was agape, form of it's divine love. It's divine love that is not dependent on our behavior. It's always here to serve us. It's it's deeper than we can ever imagine, and it really is who God is. God is agape, divine love, always blessing, unconditional, and all the other fruit of the Spirit is an offshoot or a fruit of that first fruit, which is agape. So today we're going to be talking about joy. I'm going to give you a little background here. So the word for joy in the Greek is chara, which is actually related to charis, which means grace. So if you sit and think about that, you can see the relationship between grace and joy. How the knowledge that we are loved by God so deeply, that grace that we are forgiven for the ways that we are not always who we were created to be, and how God is so loving and forgiving and caring and giving us so much grace in so many ways. And that is related to our joy. That's where it all stems from. I love that. I think that's pretty cool. So there are a few manifestations of grace or joy in Scripture, and I'm going to share this with you quickly. It's the joy of deliverance, when someone is set free, when someone is maybe had a burden or a stronghold, and God sets them free from that. You know, for the Lord is spirit, and where the spirit is of the Lord is, there is freedom. We have the joy of our salvation, knowing that God wants us to be with him through eternity, and he's offered himself for us so that we can do that. We have the joy of spiritual maturity, so that when we grow in our faith and we see that, and this is a tough one maybe, but if you notice it, that in our lives there are always layers of occurrence, layers of situations where we have joy happening at the same time, something that might be very tragic. So it's beginning to recognize that even in our times of suffering, that there is also joy. And because the Holy Spirit lives within us, we always have access to that. And that's actually very much a yogic teaching, that there is that space within, that pool of stillness and silence and quiet, from which emanate all that fruit, those good things that's always there, waiting for us to just receive it. We don't have to strive after joy. We can choose it. We can receive it in any moment. So that's as if that's not enough to take in right now. We have the joy of God's presence. That's what we're really seeking. We talk about asking for the gifts. We talk about asking for fruit. But what we really want, all those things are just a matter of being in the presence of God. And sometimes when we don't feel that presence in our flesh, when we can't grasp it, sometimes it's just a matter of knowing and relying on that promise that all these things are always there for us, because God is for us, always, for our highest good. So I'm going to show you our joy card for the week, and this is it. And the reason that there's that deep darkness underneath the burst of juiciness is because of what I was just saying, that often joy reveals itself in the midst of darkness, and even in the presence of darkness there can be God's presence and that joy. I'm going to share with you a scripture about that in just a moment, but this is our picture of joy for the week. It's a fruit of the Spirit card, and I'll share with you the definition of joy that's on the back of this card, and it says, so just take a moment to listen, okay? I know we're busy listening and taking in all this stuff, so let's pause for a moment. And before we even rest back or begin our journey of presence, I'm going to share with you this piece on joy. Joy is a deep-seated pleasure and delight that is more serene and stable than earthly happiness. Joy does not depend on circumstances, but is a grace that is always present, igniting a cheerful heart. I'm going to share that with you later again when we do a little meditation on that. So joy is deeper than just our earthly sense of happiness, something that brings us happiness in the moment. Joy is a deep-seated, eternal pleasure in God's presence. So let's go ahead and rest back in whatever way feels right to you today, sitting, lying. And taking a moment to notice where you are, look at your surroundings. If it's comfortable for you to rest here with eyes closed, you can close your eyes. If not, just keep them softly, maybe gazing down, so that you can gather into an awareness of what you hear. So what sounds are around you this morning? Maybe you're outside, you hear birds and traffic and whatever else. Maybe you're inside, hearing your air conditioning coming and going, but whatever you're hearing, just notice. Beginning now to recognize that you occupy sacred space this morning, that God is around, above, below, within. How does that feel for you today? To know that you are seen and known, loved and held. I'm going to invite you this morning to really take a moment to settle into that thought. What is it like to know that you are seen in your space this morning? Everything about you is known completely, inside, outside, every cell, every thought, every step of your life, every desire of your heart. Every quirk of your personality. You are loved by your Creator, who created you with this personality, with this body, this mind, this heart, this spirit, fully loved and held. So here you are, carried in the embrace of loving Creator this morning. And as you imagine yourself held in the embrace of loving Creator and carried, how does that register in your body? Can your body begin to settle a little bit? Or how do you feel here? Just notice. And beginning to be aware of what you brought with you in your body today. So what parts of your body might be holding on to a little bit of tension, a little bit of concern, or maybe a place of joy in your body? Can you find that this morning? Noticing, yeah, maybe there is a place in your body that feels a little more joyful, more energized, more trusting, more held, more seen, more loved. And maybe there are parts of your body that don't feel that way today. And they all exist. All of this exists in your one space, your body. And so beginning now to notice your breath. Allow your breath to move in and out through your nose, whatever way feels comfortable. Just notice. The breath is truly a journey, noticing. So watch your breath move in. Where does it seem to want to rest in your body? How does it feel as it comes in? Do you feel expansion? Do you feel tension? Do you feel resistance? Do you feel openness, freedom? What do you feel? And if you find yourself feeling a little tense, a little anxious, I'm going to invite you this morning to lean into that and allow your breath to encourage those areas instead of trying to run away from them. Acknowledge them. Bring those areas self-compassion. Gain their trust with an easy breath so that maybe they'll begin to soften. Maybe they'll begin to settle. And now lengthening out your inhale, if you'd like, and your exhale, just breathing in slowly, fully, deeply, if that's possible. And then notice how a long, long exhale feels. This is truly a journey and nothing to worry about if you're still feeling resistant or whatever you feel. It's fine. Just notice. And so as you gather in your breath, taking it in through your nose, can you sense the belly widening, expanding, receiving? Your heart, your limbs, your brain, all of you receiving the inhale, the life-giving breath. And as you exhale, can you allow yourself just to let the breath ride on out as your body settles? And as you rest in this breath, I'm going to share with you some words of Jesus as he is giving his last discourse to his disciples before they go off to the Garden of Gethsemane. He's taking advantage of this opportunity at the Last Supper, the Passover Seder, to really pour out his heart to his companions. He says so many things to them, and part of that is that they should expect the Comforter to come, the Holy Spirit to come after he is gone. Of course, they don't understand where he's going or what's really happening, and they begin to be agitated and upset. And what's really happening here? What do you mean? And Jesus says to them, are you trying to figure out what I mean when I say to you, you will see me in a little while? I tell you the truth. A time is approaching when you will weep and mourn while the world is celebrating. You will grieve, but that grief will give birth to great joy. In the same way that a woman labors in great pain during childbirth, only to forget the intensity of the pain when she holds her child, when I return, your labored grief will also change into a joy that cannot be stolen. A joy that cannot be stolen. Can you see here that he is pairing grief with joy? We've heard the scripture that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. We know that Jesus endured the cross, scorning its shame, because he knew that joy was on the other side. Always joy. So how does that feel for you this morning? That yes, you will have times of grief, but underlying that grief is an everlasting joy, just because we know that God is with us, that we have hope, that is the desire of his heart for us as he carries us, he sees us, he knows us, and he loves us. So, Lord God, loving Creator, we give you thanks for this day and all the joys it carries with it. We offer up to you any grief or sadness or pain that we have, knowing that it is also your grief and pain and sadness as you feel it with us. But we thank you that the desire of your heart is always for our deep joy in your presence, because that's what we're created for. So help us today. Help us to open to receive joy. We thank you in the name of the Christ, our healer. Amen. So let's go ahead and just take a big stretch. Take a big stretch, circling out wrists, ankles. Take whatever stretch your body needs right now. And maybe as you feel some of that tension or places where you feel stuck releasing, maybe that can be just a little microcosm of what it's like for joy to relieve discomfort. So in yoga, we're always metaphoring. We always can take our practice and allow it to teach us about what life is like and how we can, as we practice here in our class, we can take those things with us out into the world. So once you've stretched out and reached and pulled and taken another deep breath in, let's draw our knees into our chest and just rock out side to side. So I'll share that with you this morning. I'm going to lie down and rock around a little bit. And breathe nice and easy. And as you're ready, taking yourself over onto one side, probably the side of your body that's facing the screen. And if you're resting in a chair, just allow yourself to come to center. And we'll press up slowly to sitting. So just take your time, come on up. And you should have near you, if you have it, your strap for opening shoulders in a little bit. And also you can use it for your opening legs and whatever else you want to use it for. But if you don't have it, you can stop the recording now and run and get like a sash for a bathrobe if you happen to have a necktie laying around or any kind of long piece of cloth, or sometimes it's fun even to use, like if you have a sarong or a big scarf, just to use that because it's soft in your hands. But go ahead and get something to stretch with. And if you have your towel or blanket, you can take that around behind you and perch on it. So if you don't have your blanket or towel and your strap, you can pause here and go get it. And then we'll continue. So come on back when you're ready. Okie dokie, so here we are. Let's take legs out in front. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Ease up the shoulders a little bit. And so our practice today is just focusing on opening and receiving, because we just need to be open to receive that joy. Years ago in a really tough experience I had, the Lord reminded me that I don't have to strive after peace. I don't have to strive after any of the fruit that He plants within us, that we can just stop and receive it because it's around us and within us all the time because He's there. Sometimes that's a little easier than others, but maybe that's a thought we can live with or carry with us today. So let's take our legs out and sit up, and we'll just flex and point through your toes. So we're just going to be opening up in the ankles. Find your breath, remembering to ground through your hips and take the spine up nice and tall, right through the crown of your head. Ooh, look, there he is. There he is. Straight up. And we'll circle out through the ankles. This is what my ankles are doing, just circling around. Breathe, let your breath be nice and easy, full and deep if that feels good, but whatever is nice and breezy for you today. And we'll take ankles the other way. I like to blow it out through my mouth sometimes because keeping it just through my nose makes me a little too toasty. So you can do that if you like. So we've done the ankles, done the toes. Let's take our legs apart a little bit. I'm going to scoot back. And we'll just rock the legs in and out. Pardon me while I adjust our technical issues here. Just going back. Is that better? I don't know. Okay, take the legs out and we'll just shake them out. And breathe. Try to keep the tummy in, spine lifts, shoulders are easy. And we'll just shake a leg here, shake it out. So we're just going to let tension release. So when we rock our limbs like this, it gives our nervous system a message that says, it kind of interrupts those pathways of tension and just replaces them with a sense of ease, hopefully. So if you're really softening through your muscles of your legs, your brain's getting the idea, maybe I can just kind of settle in here and not be so uptight. Maybe I can just chill for a little bit. So we'll take a deep breath in. And at the bottom of your exhale, just quiet your legs. And listen to your legs. Notice if maybe there's a little hum of life working through them. How does that feel? So we'll come to sitting up tall, and we'll draw one knee in, catch it underneath your hands, and we're just going to juice up the knees a little bit by sitting up tall. Take the leg out, bring it in. You can follow your breath, or you can just let it be very light and easy. Breathe easy, take the leg in and out. If you want to be really slow about it, you can take an inhale, reach, exhale, snuggle. Or you can just take it in and out, whatever feels right. And then rest, and we'll take other side up. Draw it in, sit up, shoulders are relaxed. Allow your inhale to be what sets this in motion. Inhale, exhale. Sometimes if I feel a little anxious or a little jittery, I like to move a little bit faster first because it helps kind of get the heebie-jeebies out a little bit. That's kind of the way yoga practice can be. If you need to be a little more active at first, it kind of helps dispel some of that nervous tension. And then later on, you can settle in and be a little bit more free to focus or breathe in and out. So you just take it at your own pace. If you need to pause, pause. Whatever. See how you feel. Do what you need to do. So let's take one knee up. Hold the opposite foot in your hand if you can, or underneath the calf, whatever feels right. And we'll rock back and forth. And breathe. So just let it be. Take a nice rock side to side. The opposite leg is reaching out with some energy. Toes are up. Toes up. And side to side here. And you might even want to take the hip socket and kind of roll it around a little bit. Breathe. Good. And then we'll take that foot across the opposite knee. It's like you're just hanging out in the chair. Take your hands behind you for support. Notice how that feels. If this is enough for sensation in the back of your hip on the side with the bent leg, just stay here and notice. If you like a little bit more, you can bend the opposite knee. Pick it up, maybe rock it side to side a little bit. If you're sitting in a chair, you can just cross your ankle. Here, rock side to side, and come back to center. And if you want even a little bit more, you can sit up tall and just send your chest towards your shin a little bit. And or you can flex that front foot so the toes come towards you, and that will draw the shin up closer too. And breathe. And then we'll release the bottom leg, top leg comes out, shake it out a little bit. And let's go to the other side as we pick up this knee, this foot, rock it. Just rock it, side to side. And notice how this is registering in your hip socket. So as we do these things, we take our thoughts out of our brain, kind of float them down through the body and say, oh, well, what's this feeling like? We're not off over here somewhere. We're here, here. Just notice. And maybe circle around a little bit. And then we'll rest the ankle across the knee, sit up tall. Notice if that's enough for the outer hip. If it is, just stay here. Maybe you could rock side to side a little bit. Maybe bend forward a little. But if you'd like, take hands around behind. Keep the tummy in, heart lifted away from the belly button. And draw the opposite knee up. Notice the difference between this side and the other side. And I'm saying that from my own experience, that this side is often in need of a little more awareness there, a little more time, a little more breath. If you'd like to shift forward a little bit, come a little closer to your leg, you can. Maybe you can pick up the toes on the opposite foot. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here as you imagine those muscle fibers that you're feeling right now that need a little more space, just finding some spaciousness as you take in your breath. And then we'll take the opposite leg out, release that foot from your knee there and shake out the legs. So all that's done to come to cross legs here. Now, if you're comfortable sitting here, that's great. If you want to take legs straight out in front, that's fine too. If you have maybe a couple of pillows or blankets around, you can pause, fold them up, put them underneath the outsides of your legs. I'll show you. You can be as high as something like this if you want. If you find your legs are up here and they're stuck, you can just prop something underneath to rest them on. If they're a little more open, maybe just put a little something or nothing, whatever feels good. So notice how you feel. If you want to pause the video, go get something to rest, do that. Rest under your thighs. But let's sit up nice and tall. Notice the groundedness of your hips here. And to carry on with our sense of being open within to receive, we're going to work through all those little energy centers through the body. So be mindful of the perineal area right between the genitals there and your rear end, that little place, the sit bones where you're sitting. And sit up nice and tall. And we'll just begin by taking a deep breath in. And we'll rock to the right and then roll forward, rock around and back. So keeping the tummy in. It's not a real loose, necessarily circle. You're thinking about focusing on that circle of space, the perineal area that rests right on the ground. So we want to shift, circle, come around, just kind of waking it up. That's our sense of groundedness. That's where it comes from. Sense of stability. So we want to make sure that we're feeling the ground underneath our hips. And then we'll come the other way. So circle around. And then next time you come forward, stay here. We're going to move to a camel ride, which is like a seated cat and cow. So lifting up through the core from the belly button to the sternum. We'll sit up tall. Take your breath here. When you inhale, come on up. On your exhale, you're just going to round back. And inhale, sit up. Exhale, round the spine. Curl the pubic bone up toward the navel. Send your spine behind you. So you can see how this is like a little bit of a cat-cow. But follow your breath. So we're just getting the spine moving back and forth. And this is focusing on the sacral area right above the pubic bone. You're just opening up that energy center in front and behind. So all of our energy centers work forwards and backwards. So you want to just work front to back. Doesn't have to be big. Good. We'll take it back one last time. Take a little stretch and sit up tall. And working our way up the spine, we'll come to the center of your spine, the solar plexus and heart centers. So you'll notice that corresponds with the thoracic spine that goes right from the bottom of your neck here down to the top of your lumbar spine. So it's 12 vertebrae from the cervical spine to the lumbar. So you're working in this part of your body. So on your inhale, let's take the arms out. On your exhale, round the upper back, give yourself a hug. And inhale and exhale. So take this at your own pace, feel your breath, creating a sense, hopefully, of just lightness and openness here, front to back. Remember, we're about receiving that joy today. And so it's just very easy. Receiving and gathering. And last time, take your arms in, give yourself a little hug. just gently massaging down your arms from the shoulders down to the elbows. Just a few little love squeezes here coming down to the wrists. And believe it or not, all of our joints have energy centers too. So we're just going to interlace the fingers here. Take the elbows out, sit up tall, and just begin to be very fluid in the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. This is really just to open it all up. Breathe. Good. And then we'll take hold of the opposite elbow and circle around. Like a lasso, yee-haw. And we'll go the other way. And other side. Remember, just a sense of lightness and ease here. Open it up, and then we'll take wrists. And the other way. You can do anything you want here. You can make it nice and exotic if you want. You can just swoop it around this way. You can do a little I dream of Jeannie thing here, whatever. So we're just opening up, right? Okay, good job. So let's open the throat and take a breath here. And exhale into lion's breath, which is tug out, eyes up. So we're opening the throat. Very light and easy. Couple more times. Last time, soften your eyes, soften your face, soften your jaw, let your teeth separate in your mouth. And notice how your face feels after that. Notice how your throat feels. Allow the throat to soften. Your tongue rests in the bottom of your mouth. And then we'll come up to our forehead and gently swipe side to side around the back. So we'll side to side, down through your shoulders and off. And just wipe off that negative stuff. Just take it off. So I just notice how this feels. To me, it just really feels like a real release here. Just a brushing off of stuff. You can take it over the crown of your head. Just brush off those negative thoughts. Stuff. Isn't that great vocabulary? Take off the stuff. It leaves it wide open to whatever your stuff is you want to get rid of today. Yes, and so we'll just reach up and reach up. And so this is a seated version of our heaven and earth that we do sometimes standing. But we're just going to open up the side body here. We're going to reach way out and press up. Other way, press up. Other way, press up. Good, and press up. And press up. Woo. And then leave whatever hand is up now, leave it up there. Take the other hand up to meet it. Interlace fingers, press. Drop your shoulders. Release your toes. Ground through your hips. And now notice that your hips are grounded. Take a little journey up through the lower belly and lower back. This is where we've worked in here. Come on up through the solar plexus. Become aware. Breathe. Become aware of the heart space. Become aware of the throat and your forehead, your brow area, just allowing the mind and the heart and body to be open to joy. And pressing up, receiving. See, your palms are up here, so you're receiving that joy. Take a breath. And on your exhale, float that joy right down to the top of your head. And press up and receive. Exhale down. And one last time. Press up and down. And inhale up last time. Exhale. And we'll take breath of joy. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale down. And just allow your fingertips to float to the mat and feel it. So closing your eyes here. Take a moment to let the shoulders settle. Let the neck be nice and long. Crown of your head lifts. And fill your body with that slow, full, deep breath. And to further open now, let's take one leg out. Let's open, say the right leg comes out. Left leg comes into the inside of the thigh, or maybe you're on the inside of your calf there. So this is where you can take your strap if you have one and you like it. You can take it and just lay it out around, loop it around the bottom of your foot, but just let it rest here. And we'll take arms up. So feeling here that length and space from the hips all the way through the side ribs, up through the fingertips. Let your shoulders be very easy. Your arms don't have to be pressing together because sometimes that really constricts right here in your neck. So allow your arms to be open and full if you'd like. To me, this is very receptive. This is just the joy of the Lord is my strength. Here we are, sitting up tall. Jesus is here. Mary is here. All our cheerleaders are around us going, yay, yay, yay. So, yes, Marcia, here we are. So let's reach up. On your exhale, reach out and forward. And if you'd like, take hold of this strap. And you can use it to just gently pull yourself over. So we're creating a little space in the back of that long leg. Where's your easy breath? Just let it be what it needs to be. Thinking about sending your sit bones maybe back behind you a little bit to lengthen out the back of your leg a little bit more. But just play with it. Notice how it feels if your arms are reaching and drawing yourself down towards your leg. Maybe you want to let the, what are these? Your elbows come into your waistline and just rest here. Or maybe you want to ditch the strap altogether. Take your hands to the floor, climb out. Maybe you can take your hands on your leg. This is a nice way to be in touch with your own body here, to be joyfully in touch with what you're made of today. You're made of good stuff. You are made of good flesh. So gathering in now, I'll stop rambling and you can pay attention. So just listen to your breath, listen to your body, breathe, open, hang out. Just come to a comfortable place where we say you meet your edge, where you're not leaning forward so far that you're really hurting, but you're not back so far away from your leg that you really don't feel anything. Just give yourself a nice, easy sense of opening and breath. And then walk your hands back toward you, sit up tall. And we'll change sides. Let's take other leg out, other foot in. Going back to that sense of easy opening. So the leg that's out to the side here, if you need also to take a little support under that, you can tuck your blanket or pillow under that if it's not comfortable for it to just rest out to the side. And if you like your strap, you can have that handy around the back of your, around the bottom of your foot here, just waiting for you. But let's come back to center. Find your groundedness through your hips. Allow the arms to float up and find their reach. A little space here, a little light. Just kind of play with what feels right. Notice your shoulders are settling in. The energy of the arms floats out from the open channel that goes through the shoulder, out through the fingertips, right? So let's take a breath and lift. Exhale, lifting up and out. It's almost like you're a cliff diver. You're coming forward, coming down, and taking your hands to wherever you're comfortable, either on your strap, on your leg, on the floor. Checking in here. Coming back to the breath as always. So easy breath in, easy breath out. Always a good thing to just play with it a little bit, maybe shift around, find a little sweet spot there. Breezy breath in, breezy breath out. Breath. Whew. No. Yum. And then walk your hands back. Come on up, you can take your strap off to the side. And so we'll move from here to taking the soles of both feet together. So this is completing that circle of energy in your body, soles of the feet coming together, kind of snuggling in. Again, you can use your strap here if you'd like. You can take the strap around your feet, hold on here and lift up tall. If you want to stay right here, that's fine. Just let the legs relax down. If you like, you can take spine up nice and tall. Think about creating space in between your vertebrae as your crown of your head lifts. Take a moment to feel that. Allow your hips to fully settle. And so it's just going to be that little hinging forward of the spine. And you just go where you feel you need to go. So you can hold on to your strap. You can take hold of your ankles, maybe your shins, maybe the floor. So again, I'm going to try to be quiet here for a little bit, and you just breathe, feel, listen. Remember your breath. Take the breath in through your nose, let it sail down through your spine, all through your legs. And we'll do a little flow here. So let's just take hold of our ankles. And on your exhale, lengthening through your spine. Wait a minute. On your inhale, come on up. Exhale, rock back. Draw your pubic bone under, navel comes in. Spill forward. And then pull yourself through on your inhale and lift. So this is inhale, lift. Exhale, rock back, spill forward. Inhale, pull through and lift up tall. Exhale, rock back, spill forward. Inhale, pull through and lift. Exhale, rock back, spill forward. Inhale, last time, pull up, sit up tall. And now we're going to reverse it. So take a moment to get settled. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Shift forward with a long back and then round and rock backwards. Inhale, pull up tall, pull through, here we go, round, rock backwards. Inhale, lift, opening up that spine, the arms are very easy. And rock, just let your arms go where they need to go. Spill through, come on, rock backwards, do it one more time. Yeehaw, this is like a little wave coming through here, spilling forward, rock back. Good. And coming up to sitting, let the shoulders be soft. Find your ease. And you can take your strap away. And we'll take the legs out again, reach forward. Take a little rub of the legs, a little massage here in any way that feels right. Maybe especially around your knees though, since we've been doing a lot of bending and scrunching of the knees. And we'll just massage all the way up, ease out the shoulders. We're going to go into a little twist here. So let's take the legs out and we'll take the right foot over the left, either the left calf up by closer to the thigh, sit up tall, or if you'd like to take the opposite foot under and sit on the heel, please do that. So the foot that's across is planted into the floor, hips are settled, spine is tall, so we're not leaning into that front leg, like this. We want to sit up tall so that we can twist from a nice long spine. So we'll take the opposite arm out. If your left leg is in front or right leg is in front, your left arm's going to come out. So we'll take a breath here. Exhale, just sweep across, make it nice and easy. Come wherever you're comfortable. Find your knee, find the outside of your knee, wherever you want to go, as long as you can sit up tall. Take the other hand around behind you for support. So here you are, all tangled up. And we're going to sit up tall to undo a little bit of that tangling. Draw your belly in, spine up tall, and then start your spiral around. So the hip will draw you back, the waistline comes, the ribs come, shoulders, neck, head. So notice how you feel here. You want to lift the crown of your head up nice and tall. Take a breath. And you might want to back off a little bit on your inhale. Let your exhale take you further if that's possible. Whatever. Shoulders are relaxed. I like to play with this, see what it's like to have my hand on my knee, pull around. Play with having the arm on your knee like this, reaching out, whatever feels right. So take an inhale here, sit up tall. Take an exhale looking forward. And then inhale, we'll release and spin around the other way, just as a counter twist. Come in the opposite direction and then release forward. So let's go to the other side. Stretch it out. Take a little forward fold, maybe a little seated cat-cow in between. These seated cat-cows like this help realign the spine and center before you tangle it up in the other direction. So let's see. Let's take other leg across, and whatever way feels comfortable, either by your shin, up closer to you. Take that bottom foot underneath, whatever feels right. Find your seat. Sit up tall. Opposite arm comes out, so notice the length of your spine, crown of your head lifts, energy moving out. Take a breath, lift. Exhale, sweep around, take your arms with you. Now once you get to your knee here, press into this opposite foot, lift. The hip comes first, then the waistline. So it can be very subtle, it doesn't have to be a big twist. You just, whatever feels comfortable and right for you here. So now we're going to just pay attention to our breath. It's time to settle in, find your focus. Notice how your body feels on your inhale. Notice how you're feeling on your exhale. And on your next inhale, let's lift the spine. On your exhale, look ahead. Take an inhale here, unwind, and coming back to center. Let's take your legs out and we'll shake them out. We're just going to go to all fours here. So come on to all fours. Do a little cat-cow to realign the spine. So take that at your own pace, coming to your luxury cow, luxurious cow as we say, your pampered cow, your pampered cat, whatever, isn't that another great word? So far today I've really enjoyed using stuff and whatever. I'll leave that to your own interpretation. And so let's come to table, and we'll take an inhale into our illustrious and luxurious cow. And we'll exhale into our sinewy and tawny cat. And inhale when you're ready into your heart-lifted cow, a cow with heart, and exhale into cat with rounded spine. Inhale when you're ready into cow, and then exhale into cat and hold. So we'll just stay here, maybe shift back and forth a little bit. Find out what part of your back might need a little bit more movement, but make it easy. Use your breath. Maybe shift way back. Maybe you want to take a little child's pose here. Press it back. And then inhaling up to center. Let's do that. Let's all come to center. And we'll just exhale back into child's pose. Press back. Inhale, float up to all fours. Exhale, press back. And let's inhale, come back to all fours all the way to cow. And stay there for a breath or so, keeping your tummy engaged here so we're not sinking in our lower back there. Looking ahead, stretching your belly. And then when you're ready, let's come to table and wag your tail side to side. Just wag it out. And come back to center, and we'll tuck our toes, come back to a downward dog. So press your toes under, press back to down dog, and tread out one heel, other heel. Notice that your shoulders don't hunch up around your ears. If you need to widen your hands away from each other to make more room for your shoulders, that's good. Press both heels down, maybe come up on your tiptoes, then press your heels down again. Breathe. Let's let the back of our necks really be soft. And we'll come up on our toes on your inhale. Press in through your heels strongly on your exhale. And then on your inhale, let's drop knees to the mat and exhale, child's pose. And we'll inhale, come on up to all fours, tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. And next, inhale, drop your knees to the mat, release your toes away from you, and exhale into child's pose. Inhale up to all fours, tuck your toes, press back into downward facing dog. And we're going to do joyful pose. I bet you didn't know that's what this was called before, but we'll take the right leg up, open the hip, press that leg up, and then bend your knee, flex your foot, and we'll just open up. Oh, is that my tummy? Yes, press that leg back out, come back to center, realign your feet, press your heels down, inhale your knees to the mat, exhale back to child's pose, and rest. Woohoo. Put my tummy back in here. And on your inhale, come back to all fours, tuck your toes, press back to downward facing dog on your exhale. Inhale, the opposite leg rises, let it go way high, open your hip, reach out with energy, strong in the standing leg. Strong in the long leg, bend that top knee, open the hip, flex your foot. Oh yeah. Do you feel joyful? Are you feeling joyful? Take a breath of joy into your heart. Lengthen that leg and then square your hips. Take that foot down, press back to down dog. And drop your knees to the mat, release your toes and come to child's pose. So let's release the hands behind us, back by our heels or maybe to your lower back. Hold one wrist. But circle out the wrists here. Kind of give them some relief there. And breathe. Ooh. And as you're ready, just playing around here. Take your time in child's pose while I figure out what's next. Oh yeah. Oof. Okay, so let's come up to, let's just come on up to standing. So tuck your toes under. Let's press back to an easy down dog, just as a transition so that you can walk your feet forward towards your hands back towards your feet. And make your way up to standing, either by rolling up nice and easy, one vertebrae at a time, or you can swoop your arms up over your head. And return to standing. So here we are, standing up. So let's just kind of shake it out, jangle it all out. jangle out here, let it all go. Maybe take some twirls, let the arms fly. So if you like, you can just take little twirls here, and we can just make it bigger and bigger and bigger to wherever you're comfortable. So if you want to go all the way around, you're releasing that back heel off the floor. And then make your way back to center. And come to rest in center. So here we are, yes. So we're going to do a few thumps here. Let's take our hands around, our fingertips around the eyes. Give yourself some thumps around your orbital bones there. I'm going to pull my glasses up and breathe. And then around to the K27 points right at the end of your collarbone where it meets the sternum, that little divot right there. Just take some thumps here. Breathe. And then the center of the breastbone, take some thumps there. Breathe. And on the ribs. Remember your breath. And we'll come under the arms, into the ribs there. Give yourself a little twirl. A little press in, a little massage. Have you used this ever? I'm wondering if you've ever been in a situation where you feel a little fatigued, a little off. Have you ever used these thumps? I have. I mean, I have found them helpful. It's always a puzzle, right? You don't know. Everything's so subtle, but it helps to have something to do, at least to feel proactive, right? So let's come to center here, ease out your shoulders, and we'll just march. So really get your arms moving here if you can. And if you don't want to use your legs and your arms, you can just get the arms side to side, because any contralateral, cross-lateral motion is good for connecting the right and left sides of your brain. So, but if you can, we'll just march it out. And if you'd like to continue, you can pat the opposite foot of a knee. You could pat your opposite foot if you want. That's all good. You can go behind you. That's always kind of fun too. Woohoo! Here we go. Give that a shot. If you want to stay with the knee, that's fun too. All right, so let's shake out the arms. Good. And then just jangle a little bit. Take a breath. And let's do that again. We're going to jangle, take a deep breath in, and woof it out, okay? Woof. Jangle. Woof. Do you feel woofy now? Okay, so let's take our, first we're going to do a couple of half sun salutations. So let's come to center. And just to get a little flow going in the body here, let's take the hands to the heart. Notice your feet on the ground, the energy coming up through your feet, through the shins, through the knees, which engages the muscles a little bit as you hug them to the bones, pull up, tummy lifts, crown of your head lifts, shoulders under your ears. Take your hands to your heart. We'll just do a couple of flowing half sun salutations. So come to center. And I'm going to ask, if you're not muted, I'm going to ask you to mute, if that's okay. And on your inhale, let's swoop up. On your exhale, we're going to bend your knees a little bit, dive forward. Take your hands down the backs of your legs. Run down the backs of your legs. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, press into your feet, arms swoop up, palms touch, and let's fountain the arms out and come back to center. We're going to do that one more time with an attitude, maybe they're thinking about that joy, right? That there's that place inside that contains all the fruit of God's Spirit within us, and all that fruit is just hanging out, ready to be acknowledged and to bloom forth, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to take hands to the heart and inhale, thinking about just receiving joy. Come on up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, swoop, arms pull you up. Exhale, down. And come to the heart. And breathe nice and easy. And down. Okay, so let's take our strap. And we'll just take it, a lot of times we ignore the shoulders, so we're going to really just do a little bit with that today. Take the hands out a little wider than your hips, or a good bit wider than your hips. Stand tall. And we'll inhale, arms up, and exhale down. So you want to notice that there's no break in the wrist. Like when you hold your strap, be mindful that you don't break at the wrist, that you keep the wrists and the arms aligned there. So inhale, come up when you're ready. Shoulders are soft. Exhale down. And notice if you need to widen your grasp a little bit, inhale up. Exhale down. So all of us have different lengths of arms. Like if your arms are really short, your strap might be poking you in the forehead as you go up, but just make your adjustments as you need to, but don't go to a place that hurts. So if you have your arms up this far and you're already feeling a lot of pain in your shoulders, back off a little bit. Just take it to where you can ease into it and take it down. And last time, inhale, come up. And you might want to widen your grasp here. We're going to, if you can, drop your shoulders. See if you can take your arms back behind you. Let your shoulder blades gently kind of draw toward one another on the back. If you can take it all the way down behind you, take it down to your hips. And then inhale, reach way out. Come on up on your inhale, over your head and down. And we'll do it one more time. Take an inhale, fly your arms up. Exhale, float your arms back, really noticing the release and just relax in your chest. And come on down. Last time up. Take your arms out and up. And forward. Good. And we'll take the strap. And we're going to take it in your right hand, say. My left, your right, take it up. And we'll let the strap just fall behind us. Woo. Just take it down so it's just falling behind you. And then we'll take the opposite arm out, reach around behind you and take hold of the strap as close as you can. Let your hands come as close together as possible without pulling your shoulder out of the socket. Just get yourself to a comfortable stretch there. But notice that we don't want your head to be like jutting forward. You will stay in alignment. As best you can, take the arm up by your ear. Other arm comes behind. Let you draw your tummy in. And we're just breathing here for a little bit. Little stretch for the tricep muscles behind your arm. Another shoulder stretch. Let the shoulder be very relaxed away from your ear. Soften your jaw, soften your face. And then the bottom hand, we'll let go of the strap there, take it down, shake it out. Top arm comes up and release, shake that out, shake it all out. And then we'll change sides. So let's take your strap up, take it up, get behind your head, bend your elbow. So let's see how the straps hang down. Looks like I'm a little monkey. I have my tail back there. So notice the top arm first, how to get it into a comfortable place. We'll take other arm around. It's nice to open the chest first, turn your palm down and away from you in the back so that you can take hold of the strap. Doesn't matter how close they are. You can try to get them as close together as you can, or if you can interlace your fingers back there, that's great too. And then find your alignment. Tummy's in, lifted, heart lifted. And we're just going to hang here for a little bit and breathe. Notice where you're feeling this and certainly back off if you need to. And then we'll drop the bottom arm and let it go, shake it out. Top arm comes up and around. Shake that out, shake them both out. And release your strap. And just give yourself a hug here. Stand up tall. Take a breath. Let your chin drop to your chest. Really noticing the length in the back of your neck. And then we'll drop the arms down. Shoulders up and back. And take one arm up and back, other arm up and back. And then side to side, let's just take some sweeps across. So remember, today we're just creating this space, nice and light, nice and easy. A couple more times, reaching up and out. Take your hands to your hips. We'll take a breath here. Shoulders are relaxed. Look up. Take an exhale, forward fold. So you come in toward me, lying nice long spine, run your hands down your leg. Bend your knees as much as you need to, just to have a good stable foundation here. Maybe just shift side to side, bend one knee, other knee. Back and forth. And bend your knees as much as you need to take your hands to the floor. So we're going to do a little squat here. So if this is as far as you want to go, that's fine. You can take a moment to look up. Just here in a little squat, or if you can, just sitting down in between the legs here. You can take the legs, take the feet out to the side a little bit. Take the elbows into the insides of your knees. Take a little prayer pose. If you're back here with your hands on your knees, that's fine too. Wherever you are is perfect. Hands to the heart. And then we'll take hands down to the mat. Straighten out your legs just a little bit. Walk your feet together and bend your knees a lot. And then we'll come to sitting. So sit back down. Shift off to the side. Take your legs around in front. And we'll come to easy pose here. So let's sit up tall. We'll just take a moment to just take right ear to right shoulder. Come on up to center, take left ear to left shoulder. We just want to let your neck kind of get some relief here. And then come on up to center again and go the other way. Think about softening your thoughts now. Soften your neck, your body. We're going to just be laying back here in just a moment for our guided meditation. So on your inhale, come back to center, ease out the shoulders. And then making your way back, we'll come on back to resting. And draw your knees with you to your chest. And allow your feet to rest on the floor, knees are bent. Soften your shoulders, maybe turn your palms up. And then if you'd like, rocking your knees side to side. A nice wide rock of your knees and hips side to side here. Just gentle, open, receptive. And then make your way back to center and stretch out one leg, other leg, and we're moving into Shavasana now. So take whatever stretch you might need or one last bit of movement before you settle back into your resting pose. And settling back in, we're going to finish with our guided meditation here. It's a little bit of Yoga Nidra, which is yogic rest, yogic sleep. But we're not going to go that far deep into it today, or we'd be here all day, which would be great. So just resting down, allow your back body to settle into the mat underneath. Allow the back of your head to rest. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your hips to settle, legs to relax. Soften your face and your belly your arms, legs. And just allow your breath to become very natural, very easy. And as we did in the beginning of class, we're just going to rest here and notice your environment. Notice what sounds are around you right now. Noticing perhaps a touch of air on your skin. Notice sensations where your body touches the surface that's supporting you. Floor underneath, mat, chair. Notice the back of your body as it's supported. Notice your body breathing and the sensations that are present throughout your body right now. And as best you can, locate a feeling of joy in your body. It could be a feeling of connection, well-being, peace, happiness, or any sensation that feels like joy to you. If it's helpful, bring to mind a memory of a person, an animal, a place, or an object that evokes joy. Notice where and how you experience that joy in your body. Perhaps it's a warm feeling in your heart or a glow in your belly. Welcome and allow the feeling of joy to grow and spread throughout your body. Now, pair your joy with an opposite, stressful sensation, emotion, or cognition, or with a particular stressor in your life. Feel how this stressful thought, emotion, or situation affects your body and your mind. And now alternate between experiencing the feeling of joy and the feeling of the stressor. Go back and forth, first feeling joy in your body, then the stressor. Then feel both at the same time, the joy and the stressor. Let joy spread throughout your body even as you feel the stressor. When it feels right, relinquish the stressor and just feel joy radiating throughout your body. And rest in that sensation of joy. Joy, from the Greek, kara. Joy is a deep-seated pleasure and delight that is more serene and stable than earthly happiness. Joy does not depend on circumstances, but is a grace that is always present, igniting a cheerful heart. Fruit of the Spirit, living within, is joy, always there, no matter what, residing in that deepest place of peace, love, agape, within you as God dwells within. So coming back to a very easy breath now, allowing yourself to take a big stretch. And maintaining, hopefully, that sense of joy in your body. Gathering knees in, rocking yourself side to side, whatever feels good. And then making your way over to one side. And as you're ready, pressing yourself up to sitting. And we'll just take hands to heart. Loving God, loving presence, living within, we thank you that you are joy. Help us to remember that as we see sunrises and all those colors that we find joyful, the smells that we find joyful, the places in our bodies that feel good, the places that are the deepest sense of you. Help us to notice the things in our life that bring us joy, our friends, our family, all those things that you provided for us as deep blessing. We thank you, praise you, and love you. In the name of Christ, may we love you with heart, soul, mind, and strength. Amen. So thank you all for practicing with me today. Hang on to that joy. Know that it's always there. Shalom. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time for Love, Joy, Peace. Peace is our next practice. My little bifocal's looking. See you next time. God bless.